Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I am in McCarthy, Kennecott, and I did a video of McCarthy and then I'll separately a video of the tour I took of Kennecott. So now I'm ready to leave, go back to the main highway to continue my journey down to Valdez. And coming up this road was quite an experience. So what I'm going to do is video several parts of it on the way back. And it is a very rough road, but it does have some very scenic points along the way. So I'm going to show you a little bit of both. Here's one of those driving obstacles I was referring to. This is one of the worst ones though. There are several ponds along the road like this one. Some parts of the road are very narrow like this, so if two RVs meet head to head, somebody might have to back up a ways to find a place that's wide enough to pass. This is the Lakina River. I wanted to show you this wooden railroad bridge that goes into the Kennecott mine operation. It's next to the Gilahina River. And they've got this display that tells about it. There are a few one-lane bridges like this. Although previously I went over one that was even narrower. This is the Tusculana River. Looks like somebody's been using this sign for target practice. And this is a very narrow one-lane bridge. This is some of the scenery around it. And it is a little scary driving across in a big motorhome, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to video it for you. Here's a couple coming across it now. Just saw a glacier out in the distance there. Here's another view of it. I'm on one of the paved sections of the road now, but you got to really watch for all these chuck holes. You can't drive very fast, and there's also some frost heaves. And frost heaves are bumps all the way across the road that just make it a little wavy road. And if you go too fast, I guess it can damage something. And it'll bounce you up and down like crazy. Even the paved road has some gravel sections on it. I think it's just collections of gravel on top of the road, or they just missed a little spot. Like this one. Little pond there. And driving this road with all these potholes is like driving an obstacle course where you're trying to make your wheels miss the holes and try and judge the difference between your wheels so you can steer around so the wheels won't hit the holes. They can have a race through here and ouch. Subtract points for each pothole you hit, like an obstacle course race. Ooh, and there's the frosty. Good grief. That really rocked me from side to side. I really hate these little washboard ridges. You can just hear your screws loosening up everywhere. Now some of the road like this can be fairly smooth for a while, so you think you can pick up some speed, and then all of a sudden you hit some potholes. You got to be careful. I'm only going like between 15 and 30 miles an hour this whole road. There's a little pull-off here where I can park and gives you a good view of the river along the road. It's very shallow out there. Kind of surprised. You got all these snow-capped mountains in the distance. Here's an even better view of the river. Now this is on the other side of the road from that shallow river I just showed you. And this is really, really wide, I think you can tell. So I'm not sure if it's connected with the other river on the other side of the road. But it does provide quite a interesting scene here. I think that says Cooper River is on the sign there. This is just east of the town of Chitina, where it goes through these rocks here. This is a rest stop in the town of Chitina, where you can park. We've got a hotel. And I guess that's supposed to be a restaurant called the Grub Steak. Uncle Tom's Tavern. They got a gas station here. They even have a post office. So what I would recommend you do if you want to go to McCarthy is to leave your RV in Chitina. I think a Class B and a Class C would be okay to drive all the way. But if you have a Class A like mine, or if you have a fifth wheel or a travel trailer, if you're only going to be in McCarthy for the day, then I would definitely recommend that you leave your camper there or your tow and then just drive your car or your truck or a motorcycle if you have one into McCarthy to avoid that really rough road. The road from Chitina to the main highway is in much better condition, as you can see here. It even has dividing lines. This is interesting. Somebody put this out as sort of a warning to people. This is called 1 Mile Lake. I wonder how it got that name. Could it be that it's 1 mile long? I don't know. This road west of Chitina have some really sheer cliffs like this that you're driving through. There's another lake here on the right side of the road. I came to a stopping point where I can get out and give you a more close-up view. Here's another overlook point, and they have a plaque here that explains about it. It's called Water Carves. Interesting. Well, I made it back to Highway 4, which is the highway between Tok and Valdez. And over here, this sign shows Highway 10 to Chitina and McCarthy. And the road to Chitina is in really good condition, except there are some frost heaves. So you might be able to go 55, 60 miles an hour, but then you have to watch for the frost heaves. And the way you see those, if you watch this white line on the right side of the road, if you see way down there, the white line starts to get wavy. That means there's probably some frost heaves there. Then you want to slow down for that, because if you hit them very fast, or even hitting them slower, they will really cause your vehicle to bump up. It's a big bump across the entire width of the road. By the way, the turn off from the Highway 4 onto the road to McCarthy doesn't say McCarthy. It has a sign here that just says turn left to Chitina. That's if you're going south towards Valdez. It does not mention McCarthy until you turn on it, and then it tells you the mileage there. And if you like Alaska, I think you're going to like taking this road when you get here. Even with the poor road conditions, seeing McCarthy and Kennecott, I think it was worth it for me. Good day, folks.